If you are overweight right now, it is not because fat loss is complicated. It is because your daily habits are perfectly designed to keep you fat and overweight. And here is the reality. If you performed a specific set of actions every single day, it will be physiologically difficult for your body to stay fat. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what those actions are step by step so that fat loss becomes automatic and, quite honestly, inevitable. Every fit person you see right now who is lean, energetic, six-pack abs, they don't have more motivation than you. They don't have more discipline than you, more willpower than you. They've just created an environment, a set of actions that they can repeat on a daily basis without much friction that makes fat loss literally automatic. So if you're new here, my name is Cohnan. I've run 6 marathons. I've competed in 3 bodybuilding shows, and I've done 2 hours competitions. And I've also helped hundreds of busy, career-driven men drop 30 to 50 pounds within 6 months, all without sacrificing their favorite foods, date nights, or spending hours in the gym or on that stupid treadmill. And this is coming from a marathon runner, right? You don't have to go on a treadmill. You don't have to spend hours doing cardio, running marathons. You don't have to do that, which is good because, yeah, not everyone likes running marathons. And in this video, I'm going to show you the daily systems that make fat loss almost automatic. No extreme dieting, no suffering, just repeatable behaviors. We'll break this down into 3 non-negotiable tips that are also backed by science with some real client transformations and my own experience coaching and competing. And if you want my complete fat loss framework with a bunch of fat loss courses, fat loss guides, ebooks, recipes, all these things completely for free, I've linked to my free fat loss group in the description down below. So go ahead and join that if you want. But without any further ado, let's jump into today's video. Starting with point number 1, make hunger work for you. And now here's what I mean. Most diets fail because they fight hunger. They're fighting against it. And now successful fat loss strategies manage hunger. The reason why so many people fail on their fat loss journey is because they're hungry. And our culture, right, wherever you're from, whether you're from the Western world, Eastern world, whatever, like food is a huge part of our culture and our life, right? Like it brings people together. We go out for dinner, we eat breakfast together, we eat lunch together with our coworkers. Like it is a big part of like kind of like what bonds us together. And the reason why most people fail and suck at fat loss is because as soon as they get hungry, they revert to food. And I don't blame them. I'm a big foodie as well. I used to be a chubby kid growing up, and I would always revert to food because it's also comforting, right? Whenever you're stressed, you're panicked, you revert to something comforting. And for a lot of people, that is food. And so here's the blueprint. Here's the step-by-step blueprint. Number 1, if you are hungry, which you inevitably will be, make sure that you have your meals and snacks revolve around protein because research consistently shows that high protein diets increase your satiety levels and reduce calorie intake. Protein also has the highest thermic effect of food, meaning your body literally burns more calories digesting it compared to the other 2 macronutrients, which are carbs and fats. So by you literally eating more protein, your body has to work harder to digest that food. So it's actually literally burning calories digesting the food. Now, this isn't like a huge thing, and it's not going to be like, oh, if you eat more protein, you're going to be in a net negative and you'll just be burning fat forever. Like, no, that is not the case. Like protein still has calories, 4 calories per gram, but it is overall a lot more satiating. Now, one of my clients, he started his fat loss journey eating around 80 grams of protein per day. And as a result, he was consistently snacking. He was always craving food. And so what we did is we drastically increased his protein intake up to 180 grams. We literally added 100 grams of protein on top of his regular daily diet. A lot of people are under eating protein and overeating calories. But if you up the protein, you actually undereat on calories because once again, it is so filling. And guess what happened? His hunger dropped within a week and he lost 38 pounds without feeling he was like actually dieting, which is amazing. because you don't want to feel like you're dieting constantly in order to lose the body fat. And then the second step when it comes to creating your meals is add high volume foods to your meals. So literally think of your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, potatoes, and oats. These are going to be your best friends. These are going to be volumizers, meaning that they add a lot of volume to your meals without a whole lot of calories. These are examples of low calorie dense foods. And any successful fat loss diet that I've done, once again, I've done 3 bodybuilding shows, I always incorporated these types of foods into my diet. And I didn't really feel like I was dieting because I was eating these massive bowls of like salads, these massive plates of fruits. I was eating a ton of food. And from the outside looking in, I remember my first bodybuilding show, I was kind of prepping. I was very young. I was at home living with my parents still. And specifically, my mom would look at my meals. And every single time she'd look at them, she'd ask me this question. She's like, Cohnan, aren't you prepping for a bodybuilding show? Aren't you competing for a bodybuilding show? I'm like, yeah, I am. And then she's like, well, why aren't you eating bland and boring chicken, broccoli, and rice? Because so many people think that you have to eat boring meals and like these just low calories, small portion sizes, 6 meals a day spread out evenly throughout the day. But that could not be further from the truth. I was eating 3, sometimes 4 very big meals that from the outside looking in seems like they were thousands of calories, right? And that's what my mom thought. She's like, well, aren't you supposed to be dieting? Like, it seems like you're eating all this food. How are you still getting lean and getting shredded? And then I explained to her, well, like, Mom, these are foods that are high in volume. So they appear to be big, but they're low in calories, right? So your veggies, your fruits, your whole grains, fruits, veggies, fiber sources, lean sources of protein, combine all these things together and you've got a massive meal, a massive plate of food that's going to hit your protein goals, hit your fiber goals, keep you within your calorie deficit, and more importantly, actually fill you up so that hunger does not become an issue on your fat loss journey. And she was so surprised when I told her that. And then, yeah, before you know it, I kept on dropping body fat. I got very lean, very shredded in, quite honestly, a pretty sustainable way, right? And so why make fat loss harder than it has to be? Why not put fat loss on easy mode? That's what I want to do. That's what I did. That's what all of our clients do, right? And so research also shows on energy density, shows people tend to eat similar food volume daily and not similar calories. So when volume goes up and calories go down, fat loss literally becomes automatic. And now, once again, during my bodybuilding preps, I've done 3. My meals were massive in volume, huge bowls of potatoes, vegetables, lean proteins. And a lot of people also on social media, because I show my meals, they thought I was overeating, but my calories were controlled. I was full while getting leaner. That is what we call a leverage. Point number 2, increase daily energy output without suffering. So once again, coming from a marathon runner, I do not honestly condone anyone running when it comes to fat loss. It is extreme. It beats up your joints. It beats up your connective tissues. And more importantly, it interferes with your weight training workouts. And your weight training workouts are very, very, very important when it comes to fat loss, because you want to preserve, if not build some muscle during this journey, as opposed to losing a whole lot of weight, losing a whole lot of muscle, and just, being like frail, skinny fats. Like, you're not going to get the ideal look. So you got to make sure that you prioritize your weights, lifting weights, progressive overload, getting stronger, right? But if you're doing so much cardio where it starts to interfere with your weight training sessions, which you do by running, especially if you're already a bit overweight and if you're over fat, basically, it is very fatiguing and it is very taxing. And it can very easily interfere with your weight training sessions and especially your leg day workouts. So that is not what you want. You want to find the most sustainable form of movement, form of cardio that you can do over the long run, as opposed to doing something extreme, which also, by the way, can cause or increase your risk of injury too. You see all these like crazy people doing all these HIIT workouts, have you jump on boxes, jump off boxes. I mean, that is, especially if you're already exhausted. And that's why I'm also not a huge fan of CrossFit. You see a lot of CrossFit people, especially people who are just starting to get into fitness. These CrossFit coaches are having these people like jump on top of boxes And keep in mind, like they're like 50 pounds overweight. That is a lot of just like oomph going onto that box and jumping off it, jumping on it, jumping off it, doing burpees, doing these crazy weird pull-ups that use a ton of momentum. It is not good. And your risk of injury is so high, especially if you are detrained and overweight. Like it's just causing on your joints, on your connective tissues. And before you know it, you're going to be injured and you're going to be sitting on the couch and you're probably going to go backwards as opposed to forwards. So what is the most sustainable form of cardio that we can do that still burns calories, still improves your cardiovascular health, but doesn't beat up your joints and doesn't interfere with your weight training sessions? That is daily steps, because fat loss isn't just about eating less, it's also about moving more without noticing. And the best way to do that is by simply increasing your daily step counts. Now, studies on NEAT, which NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, show differences of hundreds of calories per day between active and sedentary individuals. That is fat loss without workouts. The busy dad inside of our program didn't want to do extra gym sessions, which is cool, totally fine. Like we have some females that don't want to go into the gym because they still find it a bit intimidating, or they don't want to get judged, which, by the way, you won't get judged. Like we're all in the gym because we all want to improve ourselves, get better ourselves, and no one actually cares about you or anyone else. But that's besides the point. Going back to the busy dad, we simply increase his daily steps from 4,000, somewhat pretty sedentary, all the way up to 10,000 over time. Not overnight, but just over time, we increased it up to 6,000, then 8,000, then 10,000. And as a result, he lost 12 pounds within 8 weeks with no added cardio sessions, no running, no elliptical, no Stairmaster, no treadmill, just literally walking outside, either with his wife, partner, kids, friend, coworker, while calling someone, doing walking meetings. Like the beauty of walking is that anyone can do it at any time, no matter your fitness level. You're 50 pounds overweight, you can still walk. You're 20 pounds overweight, you can certainly still walk. You're underweight, you can walk. Like anyone can walk. And because it is so accessible to anyone, there's literally no excuses here. Like people who tell me that they can't lose body fat, I mean, watch my YouTube channel. Just binge watch my videos. I talk about this all the time. But once you just know what to do and know the systems, and quite honestly, realize how simple it actually is, you won't get like daunted or you won't get scared about doing anything, right? Simply just walking, eating high volume foods, eating more protein, eating more fiber, eating more fruits and veggies. It won't even feel like you're dieting, to be honest. And this is also where, like mainstream media kind of like showcases one side of things, where you have to be hardcore, you have to be extreme. They show like David Goggins on social media. They show the Rocky movie, right? Where it's just like pain, like pure pain, pure suffering, pure grit. But like, no, no, don't, because you're going to burn out and you're going to fail and you're going to stop. And then when you stop, you feel bad about yourself. And then when you feel bad about yourself, you're like, you know what? This whole health, fitness, fat loss thing, it's not for me. I am not built for this. But everyone is. You are. You just don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it properly. And so hopefully by continuously watching my videos, you will know, right? And so going back to my client, he lost 12 pounds in 8 weeks with no added cardio sessions, just walking during calls and after dinner. Now, here's the second step. We talked about the cardio, but resistance training, like I said, is very important. Muscle increases your metabolic rates and improves nutrient partitioning, meaning more calories go towards muscle instead of fat when you consume food. Now, personally, when I transitioned from only doing cardio to lifting weights consistently, yes, I fell into the trap of, oh, you have to do cardio all the time. Weights make you bulky, all these things. My physique dramatically changed, like drastically. I no longer had that skinny fat look where I had low muscle mass, high body fat. It literally did the opposite, where I had more muscle mass now, and I also had less body fat, which is amazing. And it wasn't because I trained any harder. It was because muscle changed how my body handled calories. And you're also going to look a whole lot better at a certain body fat percentage with more muscle. Like you just simply are. You're going to be healthier, you're going to look healthier, and you're going to feel healthier. Muscle is your best friend. Like the more muscle you have, the better off your life will be. Of course, naturally. Now, if you are enjoying this video and if this video is helping you simplify fat loss, be sure to go subscribe because I post literally daily videos showing businessmen how to get lean, confident, and high perform without crazy diets or endless amounts of cardios. Now let's get into the final piece that most people ignore. Control your environment and not your willpower. Willpower, hopefully, as you have experienced so far throughout living life, it is not reliable. It is very unreliable. It's like this flaky friend who you can just never trust. It's like, will he actually show up today? Will he actually be there today? Can I trust his word? Like that is willpower, right? Whereas environments, your environment at work, at home, wherever you are, your car, that is powerful because behavioral research consistently shows environment drives eating behavior more than knowledge because you probably know what to do. But your environment is not conducive towards you actually implementing that and taking those steps and taking those actions. You know not to eat that cookie. But if your kitchen is filled with cookies, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have about you knowing not to eat cookies, you are probably going to eat that cookie because it is inside and it's in mind. And when it's inside, it'll be in mind. And before you know it, you've downed a dozen of cookies and you're like, crap, what did I just do? Despite knowing that cookies make you fat, if you eat too many of them, you still do it. We all have the knowledge. We all know that the more food you eat, the fatter you get. Yet 75% of Americans are obese and overweight. So it is not knowledge that you are lacking. It is the environment that you are lacking. If you put yourself in an environment that has no cookies, no fast food, no ice cream, and only has healthy food, how easy would it be for you to actually not only get in shape, but stay in shape? It will be effortless. It will be so easy. So, of course, we cannot reliably, predictably create this environment at all times where we only have access to the healthy foods. Of course, like we have families that we live with, co-workers, roommates, like it's going to be difficult, right? But the more and more that we can, at the very least, acknowledge this and create this environment, wherever we go, to make it as easy as possible to eat healthy and as difficult as possible to eat unhealthy, the more successful you will be. So step number one is remove friction for good habits. So that means prepping your meals ahead of time, keeping fruits, keeping vegetables visible, and keeping protein ready. Make good choices easy. I get all my meals delivered from a meal prep delivery company because I am lazy. I am lazy by nature. I don't want to be cooking chicken breast every single day. I'm also busy, right? And so if I can just order food online, not DoorDash, not Uber Eats, not McDonald's, but healthy meals, it makes my life so much easier. I get to save time. I get to save money, if not make more money, because now instead of me having to do my grocery shop, cook the food, prep the food, portion the food, all I have to do is just go to iconmeals.com, pick out my favorite meals, pick out my protein sources, use code Cohnan at checkout, save 25% of my entire order, get the meals delivered straight to my door the following day, all whilst I can continue on working, making more money, and changing people's lives. So convenient. And if you are already in the habit of ordering food, let's say you ordered DoorDash or Uber Eats, you can keep on doing that, keep that current habit, but just literally go to a different website. Don't go to DoorDash, go to Icon Meals. Literally, that is it. And then order your meals from that website instead of from McDonald's, for example. You are still ordering food if you insist on ordering food, but now you're doing it from a healthier place as opposed to an unhealthy place. One is going to get you closer to your goals. The other is going to, just take you further and further away from your goals. Same habits, different outcome. It is that simple. You're simply just a choice away. Step 2, add friction for overeating. Don't eat from packages. Don't keep trigger foods visible and use smaller serving containers. These tiny barriers reduce intake automatically. So instead of ordering like the sleeve of Oreos that once you open up the sleeve, you just have all these Oreos readily available. If you love Oreos, just buy them in like the individual packs, right? So you can only eat 2 at a time. And I know it sounds like a small, minute thing, but it just adds a bit more friction. Same thing with if you're living in a household and your coworker or your roommates, your kids, your wife insist on buying all this junk food. Like, try to either hide it or lock it up just so you don't see it. When it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And if there's a physical barrier, like if you need to know like the lock or if you need the key to like actually get access to it, like right there, prime example, there's friction involved there, right? So add as much friction as you can to all the unhealthy foods. Get creative. When I used to live at home, I didn't really do anything. Like my brothers, I have two siblings, younger brother, older brother, dad, mom, like they still ate junk food. Despite me living in the same household, I just kind of sucked it up. I'm like, okay, they're gonna eat their foods, but I have my own foods. I wasn't really tempted much. And honestly, like I say this all the time, but like once you start eating healthier, you won't really get tempted as much. Sure, in the first couple days and weeks of you transitioning to a healthier eating lifestyle, it may be somewhat tempting to still eat that junk food, but like I guarantee you, literally over time, you won't even like it doesn't phase you. Like I could have a donut sitting right next to me here. Like I don't care. And especially like if I have a donut here and then my regular bowl of oats next to me, I 10 times out of 10, I am not exaggerating. I am going to go for my bowl of oats. I love my oatmeal. It literally tastes like a dessert to me. Literally oatmeal, add some salt, add some protein sludge on top, add frozen blueberries, maybe some nut butter too. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Tastes like a dessert. I look forward to eating it every single day. And especially once you start to look forward to eating your healthy meals, I mean, there's literally no going back because it's literally like a win-win-win situation. It tastes good. It gets you closer to your goals. You feel good eating it. You feel good afterwards. It gets you results. Like there's no downsides to it. Whereas the donut, maybe some short-term gratification, but I view a donut and not just donuts, but like any like junk processed food is like it gives me no ROI. Like literally, it makes me feel like crap afterwards during eating it. It does get me closer to my goals. And once again, I would just so much rather eat my regular meals than like junk food. I may sound like a maniac right now. I may sound crazy, but I guarantee you, you will say the exact same thing once you go through this. And now, one client struggled tremendously with late night snacking for literally years. He would binge at night because he would restrict himself so much during the day. This whole restrict binge cycle. And it's very common amongst a lot of people. So what we did with him is we didn't change his diet. We just moved snacks out of sight and added a nightly tea ritual. And his snacking dropped instantly, and weight loss therefore followed. And now the third step is create eating structure. Research shows irregular eating patterns are associated with higher energy intake. Consistency reduces decision fatigue and overeating. Structure is not restriction, it is freedom. So if you're eating different foods, different meals at different times all the time, it creates like this novel effect and your body is truly never satisfied, right? And it's constantly looking to like snack on something or graze on something. Whereas if you just eat similar meals at similar times on a predictable basis, your body will literally help you because your hunger cues would be a lot more consistent. Instead of randomly having this huge hunger spike randomly throughout the day and then you feeling the urge to snack, like your body will literally tell you that, hey, okay, because we've been eating these meals at these times on a regular, consistent basis, we should therefore start to get hungry around these times. So you're not going to have these random cravings, these random urges to randomly snack or binge on your diet because now you will have literally created predictable eating patterns and eating habits. And your body will help you with that, right? So the more predictable you can eat and put your eating on a schedule, the easier fat loss will be. And now here's the truth. If every single day you eat high protein, high volume meals, move your body consistently, and design your environments to support good decisions, fat loss stops becoming a struggle. It becomes a byproduct of the lifestyle that you are currently living. And that is how You don't just lose the fat, but keep it off for good. No extreme challenges, no 75-day hard, no 30-day detoxes. Just simple, repeatable steps that you can do on a daily basis. It helps you lose the fat and keep it off for good. And when your health improves, when you lose the body fat, guess what happens? Your energy will improve, your confidence will improve, and your productivity will improve. And guess what all of these things will help you do as well? You show up as a better man, a better partner, a better father, and a better professional. Your relationships will improve. Your friendships will improve. Your network will improve. Your income will improve. Everything will improve by you simply getting yourself into better shape. So this is so much bigger than just fat loss. It is identity. It is your future. It is everything. Health is wealth. And if you want help implementing this into your life, into your lifestyle, you can book a free consultation call with me down below, where we'll essentially go over your current goals. We'll see exactly how much body fat you're looking to lose. We'll go over your current struggles. What are your bottlenecks? What's holding you back right now from achieving that goal? Is it the lack of time, the lack of structure, the lack of accountability, lack of knowledge? And then lastly, we'll create a game plan together to help you absolutely demolish these goals in the next 3 to 6 months. If that sounds good to you, the link will be in the description down below, and I'll see y'all there. Peace.